The role is custodian. It's a very beautiful thing to do because it's very much about nature, and as much as we can keep that purity of nature in the wine, we do. They're wines that I think they have the heart of the land in them, and they're very pure. We want to represent this place and its uniqueness and individuality in the best possible way. You've got very ancient landscapes. It's just been here hundreds of millions of years, this land, some of it. And so you have that feeling of stillness from the land, and that stillness that comes from the land is contrasted by the energy of the ocean and the purity of the ocean. That sense of the seas in everything. You know that the grapes hold that in them as well.
She's been working in the vineyard here since she was a child. She's basically a country girl. She's not really a centre stage person as such, even though her role takes her into the limelight. It's really about this vineyard and the wines that are produced from this vineyard. She has a depth of knowledge of how the vineyard will behave, and she draws on that during harvest particularly to make the call and capture the highest quality fruit.
You say what I do, but that's not the reality. It's about nature, and so nature gives us the opportunity to make the different wines, and because each vintage is different. And by following a path with Biodynamics, which is about using animal, mineral, plant and the planets, we're doing that, and it's quite exciting because every vintage is different. Beauty comes out of nature, of the wines.
Vanya is like a great chef. She's quite the artist in that she relates to what she's experiencing, but she has the ability to bring out the best in those wines. She's quite the master.
There's a very straight line from that intelligence in the soil to the glass of wine that you drink. And then the brain of the plant is in the soil, and then that goes through the vine to the grapes, and then we make a wine which is very pure. It's completely pure, no additions, is a reflection of the vintage and the place and that individuality. The Biodynamics is about creating life, and so you create that life in the land by using preparations. You're working with animal, mineral and plant substances applied at auspicious times of the planets, and the moon in particular is very important.
So it looks good, man. We've got the dried nettle here that we've collected. We've placed in the terracotta pot, and we're going to bury this in the ground and let it cure over the winter months. This is a time when your soil really becomes alive and the silica recedes into the soil.
I mean, we're trying to stimulate all sorts of different microbiology, and it's the biology that makes the minerals present and minerals available in the soil. And therefore, once those minerals become available, they're plant uptakeable. So that's how we get expression of sight with the vines and the wines in particular, is through the biology, expression of sight, sense of place in this microclimate in Willie Abrupt.
People often say, why did we become biodynamic? Because it felt good. That was the main thing. And what your feelings are and your intuition is often ahead of your logic and what you think. Oh, Solly, they're chasing you. Ha ha. Here's a good spot. Soil's exposed. Oh, we're in the Dinah Madeline block, the Cabernet Sauvignon block. Dig in this soil here, and you have, you can see that the granite rock here, which is a 500 million year old granite rock, And then we've got the ironstone rock. It's what the biodynamic's done. If you dig in, it's very open and light, and you have that beautiful sort of fluffy sort of with the rocks, of course, and it smells amazing. And it's that soil which makes the wines, because there is some, I believe there's some absorption of the flavour that goes into the wine. That's the minerality of the wine. And with the Cabernet Sauvignon, you get the ironstone flavour which comes from the soil. I always love it out here. It's great. It's very uplifting. This is sort of the heart and soul of the vineyard. It's beautiful. How could you not? Mum and Dad enjoyed coming down here for fishing, actually, and surfing. And when John Gladstone's wrote his report, he came down here and they wanted to plant lupins on the property. And he said, oh, you'd be mad to plant lupins, you should plant grapes. So that was in 1965. So that really sort of sowed the seed, I guess. There was an excitement then too. It was excitement, and they're very passionate about, perhaps this could be, great wine producing in the world, and every bottle sold or case sold was a huge win. I remember when we sold our first, someone rang up from Melbourne and ordered 5 dozen, and we couldn't believe it. Dad was a very high energy guy, and he was inspirational. Changed the room when he walked into it. He really believed in this region, and also believed in women, believed in Mum and I being a success as a duo together, and was very proud of that. It was always exciting with Mum. She always made the world seem very rose-coloured glasses and a lot of fun. But having said that, she led by example of working hard and having as much of facts as she could gather to make the best quality wine. When Mum passed away, that was the first question everybody asked me, how are you going to grow the business? And I said, well, I'm not. We're just going to get better. We're going to make better quality wines, and sustainably. Mum always said quality, not quantity, and that sort of has stayed the same, but we enjoy the understanding each plot of grapes, and then each row, and then each vine. Everyone has an expectation that more is better, and I think it's a matter of how you see more. 33 years of making the same great wine in the same place off the same land. It's people sometimes say that, young kids say, don't you get bored? But it's actually, every year is a real blessing to have another chance to try and make a better quality wine.